Whether you operate one forklift or thousands, one location or hundreds, the new My Toyota customer portal can help you optimize your operation and material handling equipment. This one-stop, free-to-use platform is designed to help you take control of your information and make smarter decisions, all at the touch of a button. Register and access your data today at my.toyotaforklift.com. That's my.toyotaforklift.com.
With e-commerce off the charts, many small and growing warehouses are asking, how can I get ahead when my warehouse is barely keeping up? The answer is future-ready warehouse tech from Zebra Technologies. Warehouses can simplify and upgrade all processes, from automated inventory management to hands-free picking, with Zebra's tailored, scalable mobile solutions. They're simple and intuitive. There's never been a better time to upgrade for success with Zebra. How can your warehouse get ahead? The answer's in black and white. Get the answers at zebra.com/theanswer. That's zebra.com/theanswer. Businesses are retooling fulfillment operations, from warehouses to omnichannel, to meet new demand amid unprecedented labor shortages. 3PLs, retailers, B2B distributors, and others are turning to flexible fulfillment solutions like 6 River Systems to adapt and scale. 6 River Systems Fulfillment Execution System is an integrated solution that combines intelligent, cloud-based software and automation, including its autonomous mobile robot, AMR, Chuck. No costly or disruptive infrastructure changes, fast and easy associate training, and integrations with other warehouse execution solutions allow operations to meet labor challenges, increase efficiency, and enhance customer engagement. Go to www.6river.com to learn more. Go to www.6river.com to learn more. How do you create warehouse superheroes? The answer is simple. With visual voice scan solutions from ProCensus. With record demand and labor shortages, warehouses need more effective workers and lightning-fast onboarding. Visual voice scan solutions from ProCensus enable warehouse workers to achieve superhero performance with up to 20% improved productivity and up to 99% accuracy. Hands-free barcode scanners from ProGlove paired with wearable mobile computers is just the beginning. Improved mobile interfaces with reduced keystrokes, easy-to-read screens, custom keyboards, voice-enabled interface, and more can be realized with ease on the leading WMS platforms. Sound too good to be true? Let us show you with our one-of-a-kind virtual demo. Visit procensus.com to get started today. Again, that's procensus.com to get started.
The New Warehouse Podcast, hosted by Kevin Lawton, is your source for insights and ideas from the distribution, transportation, and logistics industry. A new episode every Monday morning brings you the latest from industry experts and thought leaders. And now, here's Kevin.
Hey, it's Kevin Lawton with the New Warehouse Podcast here at MODEX 2022. In the booth with me, I have Scott Medford of MobileDemand, and he's going to talk to us about MobileDemand. He's going to tell us what MobileDemand is all about, how they got to where they are, and we're going to talk about their product offering, the xDim, and what that's all about as well. So, Scott, welcome to the booth. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, happy to have you on. So we're here at MODEX, obviously, innovations, all different kinds of people all over the place. MobileDemand is here. So tell us a little bit about MobileDemand and what it is you do.
Yeah, there's been innovations going on for decades, and it's evidenced by my gray hair, which nobody can see. I've been in it for decades.
They can see, we're on camera here.
Yeah, they can. So all the way from barcodes to wireless to speech to RFID and to some of the latest topics that MobileDemand has. But branched off those years and began to put out the first Windows tablets to use in rough environments. First, it was to put them in trucks for delivery people with soda products and water products and things like that. And then as time went by, made them more and more rugged so they'd go in the warehouse environment. The beauty of that is that you begin to take a Windows-based tablet, so you take Windows out of the IT province and put it on the shop floor where it's actually doing the work. My background is always founded on the belief that you take the work to where it's done. So the person that does the work is the one who should record the information. Nobody in between, no extra write it down, we'll type it up later. That doesn't fly. So putting it on the Windows platform was really a great idea because the IT guys were familiar with it, they understand it, they can support it, and everybody has some kind of computer. in current days, not when it started out, but now they do. And so they're all used to it. It takes some of the fear out of it. There were handheld devices, portable devices with little keys and function keys and things to memorize, and people in big gloves and mostly in panic about how do I do my job.
Yeah.
So this alleviates that. But it took time, to really get a Windows tablet that was durable enough to put on a forklift and all the configurations, or to put on an HEV or a truck, anything you want to do.
Yeah.
So we did that, put it all together, and began to build some really great tablets and put those out. So much so that it caught the attention of other major providers. And so we also make cases for common products that you'd see on the street, like Microsoft Surface or things like that, or Lenovo. So we make cases for them now, and ruggedize those tablets so they can function in the same environment. People who've already invested in a lot of tablet devices could buy cases to put on, and by adding those cases, we also enabled some technologies. Look at the case as both protective and an exoskeleton, so we put scan engines on them, we put RFID readers, contactless card readers for retail, so you can line bust or buy your sandwiches there and pay for it on the spot. And the people that use them, many times kids, they're not paying much attention, and so there was a lot of attrition until we said we can make that box tougher. So we did that and began to move along the ecosystem there. It's a lot of fun. But we also looked at and launched just this year, just a few months ago really, our software package of our own. The rest of them just run whatever you want to put on it in the Windows environment, and we thought we can capitalize. So we built a package that does dimensioning. And that was a further step. So dimensioning is taking the measurements in your classic way is you have a tape measure and a piece of paper, and you go to it and see how big all the boxes and packages are. There are dimensioning systems that are on conveyor systems, coming in. It's all neat and tidy and claps and everything. But outside of that, there's a lot of things that you really have to worry about getting it right. So we came up with this system that actually puts a 3D camera on the tablet. We call it xDim for X dimension. And we take a picture of it, a snapshot, in a second, and it'll give you the length and width and breadth and all that. We also enable it so that it can be tied to a Bluetooth scale. And so we have a little scale that goes with it, so you can carry that out, connect, get the weight. You can take a picture with that camera, obviously, and so you have a picture of here's what it looked like when it left, or here's what it looked like when it came in. And so you can really track all those pieces, and you upload that through the cloud into your typical cloud in the sky somewhere where all the data in the world resides. Somewhere up there, I'm sure there's a cloud looking down. And once you get in the cloud, it's some simple APIs, and you can extract that data, put it in your warehouse management system, your TMS, wherever you want to use that, and you have instant access and accountability. The beauty of that is in tying all the pieces together, because now there's several areas where it comes into play. Receiving, so you're receiving things in, you look at it and you think it's not what I was expecting. Or maybe it's a new product, you're buying mayonnaise or ketchup and they're always saying, we're going to give you bigger bottles, 20% free, and you think, that's really not good in a warehouse. It just messes everything up because you've changed it. So you can receive things in, get the measurements correctly, and put it away, tell your warehouse management system, and the beauty then is when you issue an order to go pick it, it says, I need all these boxes. This will make the tie and high correct on a pallet, and it'll work. Without that, and I've watched this happen, it'll go pick what's there, thinking it's X number of inches high, and when they get to the dock door or the truck, it's about 3 or 4 inches too tall, and you think, it's going to be bad. And so you're either faced with short shipment, which is bad, or paying for air because you have to take use fewer parcels. So we're really hitting a nerve there with a lot of people. They're looking at that and thinking, this is pretty cool. We've been, fortunately, this is a good thing, we've been overrun in our booth with people coming by. We've got a big screen TV to show them how it works, and they stand there and look at it, and we get some interesting comments. We got one day before yesterday said, I'm never going to pick up a tape measure again. This is so much easier. And you don't have to, you measure it and then you have to stop and write it down and all that, and it's that's painful. So those are the things that make it work well. There are systems out there that we we'll slowly be replacing. I mean, there are systems that, some contraptions that sit over in a corner and gather some dust, and you can take it across there, but you're in a 1 million square foot warehouse. So you've got a box. It doesn't get done. So they go over there, and I actually saw an application that said, how do you account for these rogue boxes? I said, well, out once a month we issue orders, and we send them out there, and they go pick all these different products, load them up, take them to the far side of the warehouse, measure them all, get the dim straight, and then the next day we do an RMA, and they take all those pallets and they go back and they put all that away on the shelves again. Kevin, the whole point of automation is to save time. I look at everything that we do, everything that I've done over the decades, and it's all about the ROI is saving the time.
Right.
People they've got something to do. There's no shortage of work to do.
Yeah.
So you're tying up a person, you're tying up a supervisor, all these different things. Just said, continue the progress. Take the tablet, take the camera, walk over where you find a box, measure it right there.
Yeah.
And we think that's really innovative, and as I said, the attraction here at the show has been, I think they agree with that. So we're having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's such a smart evolution of the tape measure.
Right.
We're going in the right direction there, and I think the fact that it's portable, I think is a huge thing, because I've certainly been involved in projects in my career as well where dimensions have been a critical thing to make the system run.
Right.
I've implemented multi-shuttle systems and things, and the dimensions need to be in there, and I've gone from having 0 dimensions on products to needing to have dimensions on everything, and when the dimensions are not there, it can throw everything off. It can throw your whole operation off the flow. You can't even really get that product to move through the system, because the system will say, no, like I don't know what size this is. So when you try to get those dimensions updated and get them inputted into the system, it's just like you said, you run around grabbing a box of each one. Maybe you're out of stock of one item, so you got to wait till it comes back in stock, and it's all over the place. And being able to just go location, capture those dimensions right there at that point, it certainly makes it a lot faster and a lot easier of a task to do, I think, as well. And you go back to the tape measure example. Even when you're measuring, you may send somebody out to measure, and they may get 12 inches and 1/8, and then somebody else might get 12 inches and a 16th or something, and you're not lining up, and maybe that 1/8 or 16th of an inch could make a difference at the end of the day. So the fact that you guys have come up with this and made it portable, I think, is really the huge value point there, and I think seeing that people are interested, I think it's definitely a need in the marketplace. So I mean, how do you think that people will start to adopt this? And I guess how does the platform itself, does it have an integration to other systems so that they can easily input the dimensions, or is it just strictly measuring?
Well, the input really comes because we're uploading all the data to the cloud.
Right.
We just give them a simple API, just some REST commands.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so they're really just extracting it and putting it into their current system, because their system has columns and blanks set up for what are the dimensions, what are the weights,
width,
all
cube,
that. And so we just start filling it in for them, and that makes it simple. But the application itself is just the algorithms it takes to gather all that data out of a 3D camera and replace it with an electronic tape measure. In fact, I've given a couple of guys, we have tape measures to give out and say, here's your backup system. If you just have to go out there and measure it. But, you hit on some points, both in audits and correcting all the materials there. And there's some other benefits that are really getting some attention, because anybody in the shipping and transportation knows if you ship something, you tell a common carrier, here's the dimensions, here's the size, here's the weight. The common carrier gets it and looks at it, and those have some big names. A lot of them start with U's. So they'll look at that, they'll measure it themselves, and say, we need more money. You lied to us. You mistakenly told us the size here, and so we need more money for that. And by the way, here's a hefty fine to remind you that's going to happen. And I'm amazed. I've heard some fines lately. They're talking about on an annual basis, $200,000 a year. Not out of the question.
That's crazy. Yeah.
They ship so many boxes, and there's so much money at stake there. So it's a penalty avoidance system as well as just making your life easier.
Yeah.
And making your life easier. maybe even some OSHA. I saw in a place they had the wrong measurements, and the guy said, come up here and just watch what happens with our current system. And so they picked all these items, loaded them on pallets, and we watched them driving toward the dock door, and sure enough, the first one there looked up, realized it wouldn't go through the door, climbed up the stack of boxes and pulled a couple off till it would fit, put them on the floor, drove the truck in, laid it down, went out and got the boxes, went back in the truck, put them up there, and I'm sitting there calculating. I said, so how much does this guy make an hour? And how many and times how many? And the savings were just unbelievable. So it's, technically it's a marvel, but it's all back to it saving time, and that saves money, and then you can get on with it. So it's a lot of fun. You can tell I'm in a good mood with this. And I've brought a lot of technologies to market. This is one of my favorites.
I mean, it's definitely, I think it's groundbreaking in the sense that the portability, as I mentioned, and being able to put that 3D camera on a tablet and really have that flexibility to where you want to use it in the operation and maneuver it, I think, in an easy way. So now, are there any limitations in the sense of how big of an item can it measure?
Yeah, there are. Current ones, we run from about 30 to 50 inches by 6 inches at the smallest dimension, and we'll expand on that. But not a lot. There's not a lot of boxes or packages bigger than that. And we've got a secondary system, or a second phase of it, where we do some long parts, like think about bumpers for autos that are going through auto parts stores and things. And so some things get really long and really awkward, and we may have to take two pictures. Take a shot, move a couple of feet, take another shot, stitch the two together, and get the information like that. And there's plans to go to, to bigger devices, bigger things we do. We've got a couple that are overheads, but primarily the function is how do you just take care of the basic business of distribution, warehousing, and supply chains, and fix one thing at a time. It's always, you may not fix everything, but if you can fix something, you're better off. So just do what you can do and reduce the things that fail.
All right, very interesting stuff, and it's great to learn about this. And I've certainly had some dimension headaches in my life, in my career. So it's good to hear about the solution you guys are bringing to the market.
I think what you should do is after your podcast is over, come down and see it. We'll show you.
Okay, we'll try and stop by today then.
You have an
before
invitation.
We close out. All right, I appreciate it, and I want to thank you so much for coming by the booth, Scott. And if people want to find out more information about MobileDemand, how can they do that?
RuggedTablets.com. That's the primary address for it, or they can, I'm open that you publish my name and phone number somewhere, and they can find me.
Sure.
I've got a staff all over the place. We're worldwide in coverage, so we can help anybody anywhere.
All right, great. And we'll put all that information at thenewwarehouse.com as well. So, perfect. Scott, thank you once again for coming by the booth today, and enjoy the rest of the show.
You've been listening to the New Warehouse Podcast with Kevin Lawton. Subscribe and check us out online at thenewwarehouse.com.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you want more content from the New Warehouse, check out our new video series called All Hands on LinkedIn. Just search for the New Warehouse on LinkedIn and follow along.